Hi everyone. Today we're going to study representation of Boolean functions. Any Boolean function can be represented by a Boolean sum of Boolean products of the variables and their complements using the three Boolean operators: this dot for Boolean product, the plus for Boolean sum, and the bar for the complement. Let us see this example. Find Boolean expressions that represent the functions f, x, y, z, and function g, x, y, z, which are given in the table. Let's begin with the function f. Looking at our column here, we can see that all the numbers are 0 except number 1. So our goal here is to find an expression to represent the function f. And that is an expression that has the value 1 when x equals z equals 1 and y equals 0, and value 0 otherwise. Such an expression can be formed by taking the Boolean product of x, the y complement, and z. As we can see, the x here is 1, the y is 0, and the z is 1. So the product we will write in here, and this is x times y complement times z. This is the function for f. Now the function g. In this column, we can see that all the numbers are 0 except for 2, which are numbers 1. To represent g, we need an expression that equals 1. In this first line, we can see that x equals y equals 1 and the z equals 0. While on this line, we can see that the x equals z equals 0 and the y equals 1. So we are going to form an expression with these values by taking the Boolean sum of two different Boolean products. So for our first line here, this will now be represented by x times y times z bar. Then plus the second line, x bar times y times z bar. This is our final answer. Now let us define min term. A literal is a Boolean variable or its complement. A min term of the Boolean variables x sub 1, x sub 2, up to x sub n is a Boolean product y sub 1 times y sub 2 times up to y sub n, where y sub I equals x sub I, or y sub I equals the complement of x sub I. Hence, a min term is a product of n literals, with one literal for each variable. Let us see this example. Find a min term that equals 1 if x sub 1 equals x sub 3 equals 0 and x sub 2 equals x sub 4 equals x sub 5 equals 1 and equals 0 otherwise. For our solution, we're going to show the variables as a product that equals 1. It means let us begin with x sub 1. For our x sub 1, we will write here the complement of x sub 1. Since our x sub 1 here is 0, the complement is 1. So for the x sub 1, we write its complement, followed by the x sub 2. X sub 2 here is equal to 1, so we will just copy this as is. Then x sub 3. Note also that x sub 3 equals 0. So we will take the complement of x sub 3. So we write here x sub 3 bar. Then x sub 4, and that is equal to 1. We'll just copy down here, followed by the last variable x sub 5. This is equal to 1 also, so we will just copy it in here. So x sub 1 complement times x sub 2 times x sub 3 complement times x sub 4 times x sub 5. This is the min term. This is our final answer. I hope you learned something from this video. See you again next time.